Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Iris. I am currently a graduate student who is on sick leave because of my iron deficiency anemia. So today's topic is going to be 5 effective study habits. Before I go into those habits, I would like to bring up some common struggles that relate to the habits that I'm going to be talking about later in this video. Some of these questions that I have are related to some struggles that you might be having right now. So number 1, do you feel that you are having trouble keeping track of and understanding content in your courses? Do you find it difficult to retain, connect, and apply concepts? Do you feel that you don't know how to ask questions or help from your instructors? Do you feel that you can only answer questions on exams by searching for or rewriting responses you have memorized from a textbook? If you relate to those common struggles and answered yes to most of the questions that I posed, the 5 study habits that I'm outlining today will be of great help, I believe. Tactic number 1, read your readings at least 2 times. Once pre-lecture and once post-lecture. This is going to give you a broad overview to what you should expect during your lecture, and that's going to help prevent confusion. These 2 sets of readings will also allow you to draw connections between what you learn in your lecture and what you learned in the textbook or article you're reading. The lecture will give more detailed and practical information on concepts, and there will also be additional figures or diagrams in the lecture to help you develop your understanding. Tactic number 2, write 3 sets of notes during the semester. Once pre-lecture, once during lecture, and once post-lecture. By doing this, you are going to prepare yourself for the lecture, track your understanding of the content, develop notes that are ready to use before an exam, paper, or project. And lastly, you can keep the content in your mind. Students will start to forget information 24 hours after the lecture, and the amount of forgetting will increase as the days go by. If you look at the forgetting curve graph here, you're going to see that you want to have space reviews or repetition. You want to have multiple times where you can go back to the content and refresh your memory. That's going to help you keep the content in your mind and also enable you to have better learning outcomes. If you only review it once and then leave the information for a very long time and then come back, you're going to forget a lot of information and your learning is going to suffer. So within that 3 sets of notes, you're going to see a progress of note-taking that I'm going to explain right now. You're going to most likely start with notes that seem confusing, wordy, or incorrect. You might be writing more than you need at the beginning because you think you have to write everything down or everything's important. And that's normal. I had made those mistakes too in my first year. I had notes that were probably way too long and way too wordy, and I was probably just looking at them and thinking that I understood everything because I had those notes in front of me and it seemed to make sense, right? And that's fine. We have to go through a process of learning. By finding those mistakes and picking out those errors, you're going to finish with notes that are clear, specific, concise, and correct. And everyone has a different span of learning before they can reach that. So I would definitely suggest to always write notes and practice taking notes in all those situations, pre, during, and post-lecture. You need to have those skills down so that when you get to your second or third and fourth year, you're just going to blow through it. But of course, in your first year, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a headache. But I'm going to promise you right now that you are going to feel a lot better going through that struggle now than doing it later on when the content and the expectations are much higher. And in the end, you're going to reach a goal, and that goal is to simplify complex concepts. And by having that skill, you're going to do a lot better on your exams, projects, and papers. Tactic number 3, keep a list of definitions of key terms throughout the semester. It's good for keeping track of concepts that you'll need for an exam, essay, or project. If the course is part of your major, you're going to be doing yourself a favor by having a strong understanding of concepts that you'll eventually use throughout your academic career. Tactic number 4, keep a list of questions and ask them in lecture or office hours. When you don't understand something, it is important to write it down. By doing your readings at least twice, you will likely have better background information and knowledge to help you ask questions. What am I trying to say here is that you shouldn't ask questions like, can you tell me the answer to this or for this? You should really be saying, I know this, but I don't understand that. Or does this mean this? So why do we want to do that reading twice? So that you can ask questions that are more specific and that show that you have some knowledge, but you're having trouble building certain concepts together. Asking questions is a difficult skill. So the same thing as with the progress of note-taking, when you're having to ask questions, you want to be sure to write things down, have it run through your head first, ask it out loud to yourself, and see, can I get a good answer from this question? Is this answer going to help me? Because that's the key to asking good questions. You're hoping to find something that's going to help you and guide you in the right direction. And honestly, your teaching assistants aren't going to be happy if you're just directly trying to get an answer from them. They want to see that you have done the work, you have gone through the readings, you have tried to understand something, but you are just having minor probably struggles and errors in between that are hindering you from reaching that answer. Tactic number 5, always summarize and explain things in your own words. And why do I say this? Because rote memorization is not going to help you develop learning, and it will most likely hinder your performance. Exams, as you will see, some of them you might be just fact-based and memorizing might be the way to go, but from my experience, if you only do that, you're going to do very poorly on exams that are trying to test you on understanding and application of concepts. Papers and projects are looking for your own thinking on a topic that's already well studied and researched. So your instructors don't want a descriptive paper or presentation on things that are already out there. They want to see you work with the content that's already existing and build something that's a little bit new and that can be a different perspective from what others have already seen. And if you always summarize and explain in your own words, you're going to be able to avoid plagiarism because you won't be using things verbatim. So a major disclaimer that I want to bring up in this video is that university uses a learning to learn approach. So on one hand, you are learning lots of new information in a completely large field, right? But on the other hand, you need to develop and refine your skills to learn, to understand, and to apply that new information that you're receiving. So that learning to learn approach might be something that's kind of not familiar to you because high school doesn't really give you that opportunity to learn how to learn. You're just learning information, but you might not be getting the skills to work with that information really. So I'm hoping in this channel that we can unravel the unknown together, right? Because I think you'll start noticing during your first 2 years of university, your exams and assignments are really testing you on these 5 study habits. You might be confused as to why there is not a course on these skills in your first year, but then there's an expectation for you to develop and practice these skills as you are studying and as you are going through your academic career. I do understand that it seems pretty unfair and kind of just a bummer to not have someone kind of hold your hand while you're going through this whole new transition and also having to obtain all these new skills. So I thought maybe with this YouTube channel that I have and also with the Study With Me playlist that I'm going to create, we can go through these skills together and that we can make it more explicit and more open so that things are less ambiguous and less stressful, and that you can reduce your anxiety as you are doing your schoolwork, because these skills are very important. If you don't have them, you really can't perform well in the field that you are studying in. And I hope that with today's video that you have the courage to go through this with me, and that you will come out with a better set of skills to handle this new transition. So these 5 study tactics are from my experience and also from my friends and other students that I worked with during my academic career. And I thought that it would be nice if you can leave some comments in the comment section below and let me know which tip was helpful for you. Maybe ask questions about the tips that I talked about today, and maybe indicate what you want to see in my future videos. Give me some questions and struggles that you are currently having, and hopefully I can help you tackle those with you. If you haven't seen my videos on my experience of iron deficiency anemia, you can click on the description below. For today, I wanted to bring up and introduce a new segment on my channel. It is going to be a segment for studying and learning strategies. I am pursuing a master's degree in educational psychology, so all my interests are linked to learning and development. So the goal for this new segment that I'm implementing is to talk about issues each week that resonate with the struggles that students have. And hopefully I can work towards this through a playlist on my YouTube channel. I will most likely be calling it the Study With Me playlist, so I'll also link that down below in the description, and I'll be building on that playlist as I go. Yeah, so thanks for watching my video today. I hope it was helpful for you, and I'll come back with a new video next week. See you soon. Bye.